Well, hello there. It is Wednesday, February the 7th. Here's what we're working on. The federal government announces new funding to help some renters.
Hamilton's Ford FC takes on the most popular team in Mexico tonight at Tim Hortons Field. That's them in the Falls yesterday.
And a big announcement from Usher ahead of his big Super Bowl halftime show. And a very big good morning to Brian Wood.
Good morning.
Yes,
Brian, somebody was up past their bedtime last night.
Sleepy this morning?
Yeah, a little caffeine today.
Oh, yeah.
But it was worth it.
Good. Worth it with talking books?
Yep.
Talking books.
Yep, talking books.
Awesome.
Okay,
Cool.
An extra cup of tea will help this morning.
Yes.
It really will, I know. And we're going to have a nice sunny day today again, like yesterday. Yesterday we got to 3. Today we should hit 4.
Oh,
so
wow.
Right, we'll get better. And actually tomorrow, wait a minute. Tomorrow we should be sunny and 8 degrees.
Are we setting records, Brad?
No, the records are around 13 degrees,
really?
thereabouts. Yeah, we've had some pretty warm days in the past. But it will be warm tomorrow, 8 degrees, 10 degrees on Friday,
goodness.
but we'll
Double
get some
digits.
showers.
Wow.
I know, it's just, we hardly even have any minus numbers through the 7-day forecast. So it's staying mild. I know this is unusually mild for February because we're approaching this is the end of the first week in February. Today's the 7th. So, but we're looking at sunny skies. Temperature this morning is the same as it was yesterday morning, -4, wind chill about -6, so not much wind this morning, but sunshine today, yay. All right, looking at traffic, 403 Waterdown Road, really light this morning, nothing to see right there. So let's go to some MTO traffic cameras, see if there's anything happening. Nothing going on at Centennial Parkway, all doing fine. The base of the Skyway, Toronto bound away from us into Appleby Line, no problems this morning at all. No collisions to report. No volume. We'll look at weather and traffic coming up for you right now. The news.
Thank you, Brian. Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland says the federal government's going to be adding new funding to support low-income renters and shelters right across the country. Simone Gavros joins us now from downtown Hamilton with more on the announcement.
Hi, good morning, Annette. Well, this new funding includes $200 million that is going to be federal supports that's going towards helping those when it comes to soaring rent prices in the country, as well as helping communities with homelessness. Now, this $200 million includes this $99 million top up into the Canada Housing Benefit, which supports low-income renters. Freeland says that another $100 million will go towards emergency winter funding for shelters. Now, when it comes to the Canada Housing Benefit, that began in 2020 with the goal of helping people with the cost of rent, which has only increased, according to a report from rentals.ca and Urban Nation. Now, in December, this is what average rent looked like across our region. Burlington was just over $2,200. Hamilton was just over $1,800. Brantford rent was at about $1,700, and Niagara Falls was over $1,600. And rent in St. Catharines was nearly $1,600 as well. Now, the government says that Canada's housing benefit is expected to help nearly 300,000 people of low-income rent when it comes to 2027. But for now, Tim, I'll send things over to you.
All right, thanks, Simone. Let's get back to the story that Simone was on yesterday, because after a 5-hour shutdown of the Bronte GO train station, police say they're investigating how a suspicious package was left there and if someone intentionally tried to make it look like a bomb. It took place around 5:30 yesterday morning. Police say they were called to the station after a witness reported the package on a platform near the tracks. Now, at that point, police are not saying what was inside the package. They have said it was not explosive, but a release says they're investigating if someone intentionally tried to make it look explosive. Halton police used social media to tell commuters to avoid Bronte Station and reopened just before 10:30 yesterday.
It's a huge disruption for the community. Thousands of people rely on this as a means to commute from Halton to Toronto and home. And obviously safety was our #1 concern this morning.
So anyone with information is being asked to contact police.
Concerns are being raised over a private medical clinic in Ancaster that is charging for primary care. Holistic Solutions NP is run by nurse practitioners. The group says since they can't bill OHIP, it is completely legal what they're doing. The Ministry of Health says services delivered by nurse practitioners who are not part of a nurse practitioner-led clinic are not covered by OHIP. They say it's a violation of the commitment to the Future of Medicare Act to charge an individual for an OHIP-insured service or a component of an insured service.
This is in response to publicly needed accessible care. So it's almost a stopgap measure at this point in time. And they're trying to respond to the community needs, unfortunately, due to some of the public funding models that are happening right now.
Last week, the province announced it's investing $110 million to connect more than 300,000 people to primary care teams. And Hamilton's paramedic service has apologized after patient health information was shared with the wrong hospitals. But it says at no point was patient information shared with the public. So last October, a hospital in London, Ontario, informed Hamilton paramedics that it had received 8 patient records for people who hadn't been treated there. They included patient names, addresses, health numbers, treatment, and any medical history that they had shared with Hamilton paramedics. The Hamilton Paramedic Service says it went back 4 years to review 306,000 health records, and of those 162 patients, less than 0.5% were affected by this breach. Hamilton paramedics are in the process of informing those patients. The Information and Privacy Commissioner of Ontario has also been notified.
Into Sportsline we go, and all eyes of the sports world there on Sid City this week, with Vegas hosting their first ever Super Bowl on Sunday. Last night, that focus, though, it shifted to the Golden Knights, who were hosting the Oilers, who were trying to tie an NHL record with their 17th straight win.
Trying to drag his way around. Darnell Nurse, who's just playing at a high level, and now rifled home, Chandler Stevenson.
Yeah, that Chandler Stevenson goal in the third broke a 1-1 tie. Add in some great play from Vegas goalie Aiden Hill, made 30 saves, and the streak is over for the Oilers at 16 games. That is one off the NHL record that goes back to the 92-93 Pittsburgh Penguins. Still very impressive. It had turned their season around after a dreadful start. 3-1 was the final. Golden Knights beating Connor McDavid. He did score the only Oilers goal as they try and start a new streak Friday in Anaheim.
Use the shoulder. Oh my goodness, SGA.
Yeah, Hamilton, Shea, Gilgeous Alexander in Utah last night, coming off a big come-from-behind win over the Raptors on Sunday. SGA for the second straight game was held below the 30-point mark. Still finished with 28, but Lauri Markkanen topped him with 33 as they brought the Thunder to OKC in the 124-117 win. Next up for SGA is Dallas and Luka Doncic on Saturday. So listen, there hasn't been much to cheer about for the Raptors this season outside the playoffs. Scotty Barnes, who rebounded nicely after a subpar second season last year, well, he was named to his first ever NBA All-Star game yesterday. It happens next weekend in Indiana. Due to injuries, the Sixers' Joel Embiid and the Knicks' Julius Randle, Scotty, and Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks were named as replacements. Scotty is averaging career highs of 20 points, 8 rebounds, and almost 6 assists a game. Raptors in Charlotte tonight. All right, to football, and we are under a week until free agency arrives in the CFL. Tuesday, though, the Ticats have jumped the gun to nab players from just down the road to fill out their defense. They have come to terms with cornerback Jamal Peters, making him the highest-paid defensive back in the league. Following his CFL All-Star season in 2022, 27-year-old was with the Atlanta Falcons, but returned to the Argos in June and had a solid season with 32 tackles, 4 interceptions, and 2 forced fumbles in 13 games. New GM Ed Hervey wasn't done there. He tapped yet another player from the Double Blue to bolster the defense. Brandon Barlow, defensive end with the Argos this past season, also joining the Black and Gold after playing 14 games and 30 tackles this past season. Prior to the 2 years in the CFL, he played 50 games over 5 seasons with the Philadelphia Eagles. Then let's get to the Ticats Roomies, because they kick off a brand new season at Tim Hortons Field tonight in the first leg of their CONCACAF Champions Cup match against the most popular team in Mexico. They're named Chivas Guadalajara. What are we looking at here? That is their fans who have converged on Niagara Falls. And they did this yesterday to show their support, which they will be doing tonight at the Donut Box. It's not going to be an easy test for the 4-time CPL champs in Forge. They have fared well against international sides in the past. The stadium, it's going to be rocking, though, with ticket sales going extremely well with this club in town from Mexico. If you're heading there, they encourage you to wear orange to support Forge. Kickoff it happens at 8 o'clock.
Oh, 6:10 already on this Wednesday morning, 7th of February. Let's get you into the day here. First of all, we'll check traffic. We have no problems really at the moment, no collisions to talk about, no volume really. 403 and Waterdown Road still looks good. It's getting a little busier Toronto bound, but that's normal. To our MTO traffic cameras, once again starting in St. Catharines and then coming around the Horseshoe, QEW and 7th is moving nicely. Nothing at Centennial Parkway still. Here's Fairview. So we're looking at the Skyway Bridge way in the distance, so Toronto bound lanes coming towards us. All looks good at the Ford plant. Same with Cooksville Creek. Nothing happening on the roads. Take it carefully, please. Temperature has just come up a degree, so now we're sitting at -3. Winds pretty light this morning, makes it feel like -5. So it's a little bit milder than it was yesterday morning at this time, but only by a degree. Sky right now is partly cloudy. So heading off to school today, it's going to be a sunny day. Skies will clear nicely. We should have light winds and a 4-degree high for the day today. So once again, that's mild, above seasonal. What's happening is, you look at those arrows, red arrows coming up from the south. That's a mild southerly flow. That's what's going to help our temperatures for the next few days. Today, 4, tomorrow 8 and 10 degrees by the time we get to Friday. But Friday we'll get some showers rolling in with that frontal boundary. So talking about temperatures today, anywhere from 4 to 5 for Niagara, 6 for Brantford, so above seasonal and lots of sunshine for the day today. Tonight, skies will stay clear to just a few clouds, temperatures into the minus column, but just -1, -2, -3 a little further afield, Guelph and Kitchener. And then tomorrow, temperatures climb up. Look at 9 degrees tomorrow in the sun for Niagara, 8 and 9 degrees for this end of the lake, and then 5 and 6 for other areas. But look at that sunshine once again tomorrow, and way above seasonal for the day tomorrow. So out the door this morning, temperature, as I said, has come up to -3. It's partly cloudy. We have light winds, and we'll look long range in a few minutes. Annette, Tim.
Okay, we say good morning to Emily Vukovic. Nice to have you back on the show.
Good morning. Thanks. That's good to be back. Yesterday was a great day skiing at Mount St. Louis Moonstone. We're going to have that coming up in my segments.
You get on the skis?
I did.
Are you sore?
I am. I am sore.
It uses muscles that you're just like, I didn't know I had muscles there.
Right? It's like my legs and my backside. Ooh, I don't know. I wiped out real bad, so that might be why.
Oh, yeah.
No, unfortunately, we did not. Sorry. Okay, coming up at Chit Chat, we're going to be talking about Usher. He's got some big plans to go on tour, and we're going to be talking about Mariah Carey, who heads back to Vegas for another residency.
Good stuff. We'll see you at the coach in a little bit.
Okay, coming up after the break in business news, a heads up if you are scheduled to fly today because a major European airline has to ground almost all of its flights. 6:15 on your Wednesday morning, and in overseas trading, Canadian dollar is up 4 basis points to 74.16 cents US. Gold is down a little more than $2. Crude oil gained 44 cents to $73.75 a barrel. Midday trading in Europe, markets are down in London, Frankfurt, and Paris.
Over in Asia, markets are down in Tokyo and Hong Kong, but up in Shanghai. North American markets on Tuesday, some green. That means gains. Triple-digit gains for Dow Jones. Nothing too substantial on Bay Street or the NASDAQ. We'll see how they do on this Wednesday, February the 7th.
And a heads up if you're flying Lufthansa today, because you probably won't be. It expects to cancel nearly all of its flights because of a one-day strike by its ground crews in Germany. The union is trying to secure it a 12.5% raise. Ground staff have walked off the job at the airline's 2 main hubs in Frankfurt and Munich, as well as the airports in Berlin, Dusseldorf, and Hamburg. Lufthansa says tickets can be rebooked free of charge, and within Germany, airline tickets can be converted into rail vouchers.
Virgin Galactic is grounded after a small part fell off the mothership of its space plane on its latest space tourism flight. So the company says mission safety was not impacted. Now, this was Virgin Galactic's first space tourism mission of the year after entering commercial service in 2023. The company discovered the issue just during routine checks and told government regulators back on January 31st. Virgin Galactic will work with the Federal Aviation Administration just to figure out what happened, the FAA. said it will investigate and must approve Virgin Galactic's final report before the company can return to flight.
Meta is going to be adding AI-generated labels to images created by third-party tools. It is working with other companies to create an industry-standard invisible watermark to identify those images. In the next few months, the labels are going to roll out across Facebook, Instagram, and Threads in multiple languages. Meta already applies a similar label to images created with its own AI generator.
So officials in Ecuador think they've pinpointed that is the source of lead poisoning in cinnamon applesauce packets sold in the U.S. So they believe that lead originated from a ground cinnamon processor called Carlos Aguilera, which is no longer in operation. Now, it's unclear how the lead got into the cinnamon, but one FDA official is saying that it was an intentional act. Some suppliers tried to bulk up food sold by weight by adding things like lead to it. So far, the CDC reports more than 400 kids in the U.S. have elevated blood lead levels linked to this applesauce. The affected products that were sold under the brands Wana Banana, Weiss, and Shucks. Well, every year, Air Canada Fan Flight rewards deserving sports fans across the country with unique experiences while showcasing Air Canada's continued support for Canadian NHL and NBA teams. Well, 11-year-old Keandre Williams from Hamilton is this season's deserving young Raptors fan and has been recognized for his passion for basketball, but more importantly, his selfless spirit, never hesitating to lend a helping hand at his local food bank. I got to sit down with Keandre yesterday in studio. He was thrilled to be here to talk about his experience and how they surprised him to see his first ever Raptors game.
I got this jersey from a suitcase that they gave me. It said Fan Flight on it.
Right. Okay. So what name do you got on the back there? You want to turn around to show the camera, see what name?
It says my last name, Williams.
Wow, you got your own specialized jersey?
Yeah. When I actually got to Houston, I didn't know what I was gonna do except that I wanted to eat some brisket because it's from there. I wanted to eat it.
Yeah, they got some good brisket there. Okay, so what's the review? How was the brisket?
It was very good.
You've done so much since you were like 7 working with the local food bank. Why do you do that stuff, Keandre?
Well, I do it just because it's nice to give back to people who are in need. And since I already have stuff that I need, I can give them stuff.
Who's your favorite Raptor?
My favorite Raptors player is Scotty Barnes.
Scotty Barnes. Yeah, you got to see Scotty Barnes live? Mm-hmm. And eat brisket? Oh, what a great kid. And him and his mom, Nicole, was here with. There's Nicole right there. She just she filled this out because she knew his son just worked so hard giving back to the community. Yeah. So it was great.
What a community leader already.
Yeah, he's 11 years old. So you can watch actually our full interview. Just head to our website at CHCH.com.
Okay, going to take a break right now. Brian's going to be back with your traffic and your 7-day forecast. It's going to be a warm one.
Hello, Wednesday, 6:23 is the time. Let's check the traffic cameras here. MTOs east of Lake looks good through St. Catharines, so nothing to see there. Even the base of the Burlington Skyway, Toronto bound away from us. Here's Appleby Line still doing nicely. No problems at Sheridan through Mississauga. And the 403 west of 10, all doing fine, so nothing happening on the roads this morning. Temperature, we were -4 last hour, so we've come up already to -3, -2 for Mississauga, but on the freezing mark for Grimsby and for Toronto. We're going to see the sunshine for the day today, the 7th of February. Those are our seasonal temperatures, -2 and -10. And sun times, the sun gets up before 7:30 now. Yay! We get more daylight today. So -3 for the first bell this morning with the sun, and then just a little bit of cloud cover, but 4 degrees later on today. So another nice mild day. So today, 4 degrees in the sunshine. Looks good for today. Tonight, only backing off to -2. Tomorrow, it gets warmer, 8 degrees in the sun, and then all the way to 10 on Friday. 10, but it's going to be fairly cloudy with showers. And after that, the temperature starts to dip. The clouds settle in and stick around for a while, all the way through the weekend. Temperatures, as you can see, really come down after those 3 mild days today, tomorrow, and Friday. That's your forecast. And that, Tim.
Okay, this is such a cool story. Social media is helping to keep a very old sourdough starter alive. The wild yeast and bacteria colony, it's been going since 1847 in Oregon. A group is keeping the 177-year-old tradition alive after Carl, the guy who gave out samples for more than 50 years, died.
I had no idea, absolutely no idea. In the past, we've had huge newspaper like the New York Times and the Chicago Tribune mention us in a sourdough article, and we got a huge influx. But we're talking, $350 a week, not 1,400. In the last 3 weeks, we have gotten a volume that we normally get in a whole year, and we're only 2 people doing this. Now it's every day, 8 to 10 hours a day, no breaks. This is going on 3 weeks now. I've just had to stop everything. It's crazy.
1,400 a week. So that's Mary Buckingham, one of 2 people trying to fill the thousands of requests that have piled up since TikTokers started posting about the Oregon Trail starter. So if you'd like to request your own, you can find directions at carlsfriends.net. There's a lot of great information about how to revive and care for the colony. And it does appear that they do ship to Canada. Maybe give Mary a bit of a break.
Yeah, give her a couple of weeks and then put in your request. That would be a very Canadian thing to do.
It's like, sorry. Whenever you get a chance, Mary.
Excuse me.
Yeah, just send it if you can. But no rush. Whenever you can. Okay. 1 half hour down. Lots more to come. Great little program we have on our morning live today, Annette.
It is. Now I'm hungry for sourdough bread, though.
Little jam, a little butter.